Good evening. I made this video to show how much I've learned in this class about the process of writing. This is really not a fair video. Really, you only give me 5 minutes to make this video to talk about everything that I've learned. I guess I could in 5 minutes name 2 things that I've learned. That's the only fair thing about this, but there's so much that I've learned in this video. I've learned in this process about the process of writing. Simply because it's helped me and inspired me more to want to be able to write. And my love for writing has increased. The respect for writers, whether writing newspaper columns or magazines or books, is off the charts now for them, because I understand a little bit basis about what they're doing, what they're trying to say, the arguments that they are bringing to the table. And it shows that it's a skillful art to writing, and not everyone can do that. But the 2 things I'd like to share with you that I've learned about the process of writing is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Let's start with the ethical argument. An ethical argument is a field of philosophy that studies the standards by which acting can be judged as right or as wrong, good or as bad. An example, some examples would be: number 1, should same-sex marriage be allowed? Number 2, should teenagers be allowed to drink at the age of 18, since they are allowed to enlist in the military at that age? The most important part of a ethical argument is the ethical principle. In an ethical principle, you get a chance to show whether something is good or bad. You want to show whether something is right or wrong. You want to show that whether something is true or false. The second thing that I've learned about the process of writing is how to write a literary argument. A literary argument is when you take the position or sides with evidence of an opposing argument. Literary arguments, like all arguments, relies on evidence. An example: a poet can't make a point to show the use of biblical allusions unless he or she presents an example of such allusion from the poem. I've also learned there are structures in which literary arguments are formed. The first being they should have a thesis statement. The second one, you should have a evidence. The third point in the structure of literary arguments is you should have refutation of opposing arguments. And the fourth structure point is, and final point, is to have a strong conclusion. Ironically, today, here in America, or here in the world, we face a major issue in this world that's really popular now, that possesses both ethical argument and a literary argument, depending on how you look at it, or which way you want to look at it, or you combine the two. And that issue is the issue of Donald Sterling, the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers. Mr. Sterling was one of the most prominent men in the NBA, owners in the NBA, was just accused of being discriminative of minorities. He was recorded by audio speaking harshly of minorities. The reason why this is so important, whether it's ethical or argument or literary argument, can be written in this, because we can't just say that he was right or wrong about his opinion. His opinion was neither wrong or neither right. Our opinion, or whoever opinion that's judging, which should not be judged, a person's judgment on it could be right or wrong to oppose him or what he said. This is a very touchy subject. The arguments can be, it's just a strong middle line between ethical arguments and literal arguments into this Donald Sterling case. The point of the matter is, who's wrong, who's right, nobody knows. Only thing we can do is pray and ask God for guidance and to heal his heart to love. We all should love each other. Even Mr. Sterling, he needs love right now. That's important. So with saying that, I'd like to thank you, Professor, for giving me the opportunity to take this class. Thank you for watching my video. Sorry about the imperfections in it this time. It's just I had a ball learning about writing, and it's helped me in my spiritual writing and personal writings as well. Thank you. Have a nice day.